my name is Laurenti Magesa. My experience here has been very, very positive as far, and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. My special interest for a long time has been African theology. I was trained as a moral theologian in the 80s, long time ago. If I can mention any disappointment that I've had is that the development of African theology is stalling. Not many people are really placing enough emphasis on that. Thank you very much for the invitation to say something about myself. My name is Laurenti Magesa, and I've been teaching here at Ekima University College for about 13 years now. I came in 2008 at the invitation of Father Robert Orr. I was in a parish then in my diocese of Musoma in Tanzania. What can I say about my experience at Ekima College? My experience here has been very, very positive as far as I am concerned. First of all, in terms of community life, I've enjoyed the community at Ekima, both of the staff and the students. So I really don't have any negative experience, and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. It's been very, very positive. And I think my contact with the community as Ekima over the years has helped me to grow, especially spiritually and intellectually. What I would consider to be the highlights of my time at Ekima is to see many of my students every year graduating, especially when they are being ordained deacons as a step to the priesthood. It's been very comforting that I have really contributed to forming of pastoral agents who will go throughout the world to preach the word of God. And that's different, because I worked also in the National Seminary in Tanzania. But the difference here is that people come from all over the world, all over Africa and all over the world. And that is a richness. That's a richness of Ekima College. And I hope it will be maintained that way. So that's my highlight every year, to see people graduating and being ordained deacons towards the priesthood. And some of them come back and become colleagues, become teachers with me here at Ekima College. Right now, there are about 2 or 3 who have come back. So that's very makes me very happy. My special interest for a long time has been African theology. I was trained as a moral theologian in the 80s, long time ago. But then I gradually changed to concentrate on African theology. I think that's the demand for the church in Africa, because Christianity is a multicultural faith. The expression of Christianity must be cultural. That's what led me to concentrate on African theology. One of the pioneers, although a small one, in this genre of African theology. I'm sure you know some of the names, Bojo, Nyamiti, Africanists like Edward Shorter, and so on. I'm mentioning only people from English-speaking Africa. There are many from French-speaking Africa as well. But my concern now is that schools, including Ekima, are not placing enough emphasis on African theology. I think African theology should not be a subject only. It is a way of doing theology. So we at Ekima should do our theology based on the African context and African interests. And I don't think that that is happening enough at Ekima and in other places that I'm teaching. I've been teaching while here at Nairobi, been teaching at Tangaza College, I've been teaching in several other institutions, and I don't think that the emphasis on that is strong enough. And that's my disappointment, really. If I can mention any disappointment that I've had, is that the development of African theology is stalling. Not many people are really placing enough emphasis on that. So I might say that we are doing European theology in Africa and not really African theology. Look at the liturgy, look at the signs and symbols we use, look at the sources that we cite in our papers. Most of them are European, they're not African. And now there is no excuse to say that there are no sources of African theology. We have a lot of resources of African theology. And in fact, people at Ekima should be the ones that would develop more sources of African theology. I don't see that happening, and that is really my concern. My message to Ekima on how to develop African theology is that maybe there should be a course at Ekima in cultural anthropology and sociology. I know that we do that before coming here. We do philosophy, especially before coming to Ekima to do theology. But I don't think it would do any harm to include classes or discussions on anthropology here at Ekima, and that would lead us into African theology. Another recommendation that I would have is not only to sit in class and do theology, but also to go into the field as part of our education here and really do first-hand field research on the experience of Christianity in Africa. We are in Nairobi. I think that we would get a lot of information, a lot of insights about African theology or Christianity, African Christianity, if we really went into the field and saw firsthand what is happening, not only relying on theory, on theoretical ideas that have been, most of them, developed in outside of Africa, in Europe and America. So I'd like to finish by insisting on the importance of doing African theology, not only as a subject, but as a basis for doing the theology that we are doing here at Ekima. That would be my message, my parting message, my parting hope for Ekima. Thank you.